Alright, hello everyone. We're back on Chemically Bonded, and I think we left off talking to Naomi and wanting to meet her right after class again. I think Naomi's growing on me. I don't know what it is, she just is. Alright, let's do it. Chirping. Sunlight, cars driving past down the street. The sounds of the morning once again greet me as I slowly raise myself from my heavy slumber. Damn, I'm tired. Aches creep across my skin, deepening themselves within my muscles. A piercing sensation. The pain itself, further waking me, just another reason why I should probably join Naomi in the gym. Then again, maybe Kyoko can come up with some sort of medicine. What am I thinking? To have the thought of these girls on my mind after just waking up, maybe it proves how closer we've already become. Or maybe I'm just a creep. Either way, it's not like I can avoid it any longer. Recalling Naomi's piercing voice, yesterday's conversation still floats around my head as I ponder the thoughts of today's date. Let me turn up the volume for this, just a little bit. This should be good.
Fine, I will. Just don't think of it as a date. It's not every day I meet up with a guy after school.
Her words resonating very typical sense of disgust-filled embarrassment strike back to me as my body continues to slowly awaken. Naomi, faced with the dilemma of her and Kyoko's relationship, caught up on her own disdain for herself, regret. Her blue eyes deeper than an ocean, only holding the one thought that keeps her going. Kyoko. Stifling the laugh, my hand clasps my mouth as I imagine what Naomi's reaction would be if she were to find out I've been thinking about her. I don't want to wake anyone up this early, but I can't help but gaze over her flushed yet weirdly aggressive face in my mind. Luckily, she can't read it. Darting my eyes towards my test, a subtle vibration diverted my attention away from the thoughts of Naomi towards my one. A message? And they're quickly back to her. Maybe she's telepathic. Meet me at gate before class. Scan the contents of the message. I don't exactly seem overly aggressive. It doesn't seem overly aggressive. Yet she has a tendency to make almost anything frightening. Meet me at the gates before class. With a complex over people seeing us together, I don't really think she's thought this through. But not meeting her would probably result in something much worse. Guess I'll have to go. As the clock continues to tick, I finish up my daily routine, embraced by the sunlight seeping through my window. A morning of tranquil idleness, almost idyllic in itself. I'm about to go to school, is what I say, but unfortunately I'm not a Mo high school girl. I can't even spare time to have breakfast, let alone running out the door with toast in my mouth. I'll just say lots. Walking through the warm morning air, the sight of the school gates meets me as I look outward towards the crowd of students piled towards the doors. Sunlight basking on all. Yeah. Sunlight basking all of us, as to be expected of a traditional spring day. As for me, well, I'm basking in apathy of not wanting to attend lessons. Just another traditional theme for cliched high school guys. As well get going myself. I may as well get going myself. Oh my god, I gotta start reading better at this today. With the gaze just before my eyes, a familiar set of hair captures this sprawled gaze as each auburn strand flows through the mid-spring breeze. Her own directed towards the floor as she idly twiddles her thumbs, before attempt to hide her flushed, reddened cheeks. Is she really that concerned about people seeing us? Striding towards the school gates, striding towards her, those quaint azure eyes lift themselves from ground towards me. She's noticed. Granted, she was standing here and waiting for me, despite her typical attitude of pushing me as far away as possible. Today's different. Joining her with the musical world surrounding her, Naomi too moves herself towards me, lips curled up like into a smile. Into a smile?
Hey!
Damn, I gotta relax. Alright, that's a thumbnail. Hey! Running besides me, Naomi's hands reach behind me, patting me against the back. A Goldilocks method. Not too soft as to convey disgust in having to touch me, not too hard as to inflict the results of pent-up aggression. A perfectly normal, friendly pat. Continuing with her smile, Naomi's eyes look up towards me almost with warmth as the set of cherry lips continue to curve upwards in fondness. What's gotten into her?
You're not going to forget, right? You're meeting me in the gym later.
That's why we're going to the gym. I told you I don't want to join the gymnastics team.
Not that. I wanted to talk about Kyoko.
By this point, I think it's fairly obvious. Nodding in my head, our conversation continues forward. For someone so previously agitated by even being near me, having such a friendly conversation together in the midst of passing students sure is weird. I'm not gonna forget that. What do you think I am, an idiot?
Not really.
Something is wrong with her.
Anyway, I'll walk on ahead. If people see you with me, they'll get jealous.
Mouth beaming in a smile once again, Naomi's lips glisten in the sunlight as she soon turns around. Hair swaying in the warm spring breeze, she's happy. Yet another small gust ruffles her skirt as she almost skips towards the school entrance. Not enough to satisfy anyone, but still rather beautiful in itself. Hey, yo, he's a gooner. Despite her odd behavior, I think it's still something I can enjoy. I'll hear about it later, anyway, assuming she goes back to her usual self. That wasn't it. Filled with a life of students, amalgamating through the corridors ahead towards class, the corridors remain lively as usual. The same similar sounds of chattering, gossip, and banter flowing through the walls. Each day, something new on the table.
Hey, did you hear about Naomi? I heard she set a new record the other day.
I hear that someone's trying to start out a new club. What was it? Science? Nobody's going to join that. It's run by her. Why would anyone be friends with a fraud?
A fraud is crazy. Synchronicity or coincidence. The thoughts continue to flow through my head as I pick out each and every drag of conversation. Everything pointing towards them. It's something that makes me angry. She's not a fraud. I'd appreciate it if you didn't talk about my friend like that.
Since when were you friends with a cheat? I'm surprised this loser even has any friends.
I might not be his friend yet, but I know someone who is.
Fuck is this?
You wouldn't want to upset Naomi Sato, now would you?
Hey man. Out of nowhere, an almost shirtless student stands out from the idle crowd, abs striking hard against the hair. He looks onto the crowd of students who slowly gather around us. Yo, man, what's up with this dude? I'm sure the disciplinary committee would have a field day over this guy's adherence to the uniform policy.
He's right. Come on, let's go.
Backing off, the crowd begins to dissipate, and I still stand in awe of what had just transpired. Regardless, I can't change the fact that I'm still staring square on towards a pair of glistening muscles first thing in the morning. Yo, hey, yo, man, back up. Thanks.
Why are you so nervous? It was nothing, really.
Bro,
It's nice to
put a
meet
shirt
you.
on.
I'm Ken Takahashi. I'm on the athletics team.
Ken Takahashi. Hold on. I got a couple things I need to look at. She's 5'3". Born in April. I don't know much about him. Instead of he lives a carefree life, he knows to strike off all sorts of trouble. I Chitose. Weifuru. Oh, Uru. Okay. I guess that was cool, I guess. I don't really... Reading that didn't really do anything for me. I guess... Speeding forward from an introduction, the name sounds oddly familiar. Ken continues to stand before me, almost indulging himself in the atmosphere around us. Smiling, yet somehow managed to make himself overly friendly for someone I've just met. It's nice to meet you too, I guess. I'm Danny.
Don't worry, I know all about you. She talks about you a lot.
She? Naomi?
Yeah, for someone like her, all I can say is good luck. If any of those creeps try coming after you, I've got your back.
But it's not like that. I've just met this guy.
Is lingering around class the best kids these days can do?
Booming out from behind us, a familiar voice reaches my ears as I turn to face a suited man now before us. Our duo, now a trio.
Ah, you're that new teacher, aren't you?
It's Mr. Kabir to you.
Ah, that's right. Mr. Yamamoto retired. It's fair to say that we have economics this morning. However, with a solemn gaze directed towards us, it's clear that there are other problems which need to be dealt with.
I see you've taken to befriending troublemakers.
Sweeping his eyes in my direction, Mr. Kabir looks out sternly as he quickly averts them back towards Ken. Still standing there without any real care, surprisingly.
Troublemaker? Nah, that's not me.
What about your lack of consideration for a proper uniform then?
It's not harming anyone.
It's harming the social conduct of ordinary school life.
I can't help but feel that I'm watching the fabric of a good old telling off with being woven. Nevertheless, Ken still eyes with a smile as Mr. Kabir continues to steerly address him. A cold set of eyes looking on towards the least phased person I've ever met.
Do you really think uniform like that is acceptable?
I don't know what you mean by social conduct, but it's an alright setup, you know? It's getting warmer, so I have to keep him cool.
The guns? Yo. Beams at another smile within the cross begins to chat away. This shows an ample direction for having to do work. I have to give him credit, but it's not like I'll be able to slip away from this
Save that
either.
attitude for the gym. I really don't want to spend my time dealing with you.
Damn, he
You know
mad.
I will. I'm always trying to outbench myself.
Just go to class. Both of you. I'd rather spend my time teaching.
Bro is pissed off. Walking back to the room, Mr. Kabir lets a apathetic aura, enough to say that his presence simmers down in once a lively class. Should probably head
I'll
inside
see you
too.
around. Have a good one.
Letting out nothing less than a small wave, Ken smiles back up and he walks backwards down the corridor in act of farewell. Despite being a little odd, I can't help but owe him one for sorting out the situation back there. Kyoko staunchly attacked by her classmates. All while probably fiddling around with a pencil as she sits in docility behind the wall. It's a shame to think that those feelings of contempt for her still linger around the school, despite not being the one to blame. I can't help but think that what Naomi says about me either. Yeah, that's weird. What did she say about me? Paired with the typical chiming of the bell, class erupts into chatter as the marking of its end comes to fruition. After economics with a short sting of geography headed by the only teacher in the roster that the guys actually pay attention to, Miss Sasaki herself. Sparing the details, I rise from my seat with a mild stretch, soothing the stiffness which grasps my muscles. Yeah, she a baddie. Being around two energetic people all the time really puts it into perspective how worn out I normally am. Kyoko, almost powered by her own reactions, feeling every day with a pronounced sense of vigor I hadn't experienced since middle school. As for Naomi, she doesn't hold her lively attitude, at least when it comes to insults. The thought of herself making her earlier actions ever so weirder. Basking merely in the sun, only to fill her voice with the eerie, happy-go-lucky heartedness as she unironically decided to become my best friend. What with our outings, it's not absurdly far-fetched, but I can't see it happening. Now, standing in the midst of a class, my head pans over the remaining students in class. Peering around, the sight of the usual chirpy brunette scientist isn't this to be seen. For once, Kyoko isn't gushing or straight to my desk with the usual, "You're not coming to club, right?" In a way, I miss that. But it still doesn't change the fact that I'd agree to meet her with Naomi later. That in itself just another thing to look forward to. With what Naomi's offbeat behavior this morning, I can't wait to dial to be pumped up in 11 when she threatens me to forget it. Usual things I've come to expect with these two girls in my ever-changed high school routine. It's laughable, but I look like an idiot doing so in the middle of the classroom. Guess I should just get some lunch. Damn, so Kyoko doesn't want to talk? Marking the end of the day, the rhythmic chime, the bell rings out throughout the class, stepping in from the adjacent corridor. A communal sense of joy and relief coating across the room. Well, besides Kyoko anyway. Despite her apathy for curriculum, she sits with what I can only call a pout peeking towards me from the visible side of her face. Maybe it's me, but she should at least be a tad excited with the club activities after all. Yet, as much as I could revel in the presence of Kyoko, another thought lingers through my mind. Naomi. I'd agreed to meet with her after the club. The events of earlier, though, enough of an indication that Naomi has been pretty out of it. Her friendly demeanor is stark contrast to how she usually treats me.
Not really.
Yeah, she's acting weird. Is it because she broke that record? Is this how friends are made? I've been hanging around with her quite a bit, but I don't remember Kyoko being this much of a tsundere. She sure is a confusing girl to understand. Speaking of Kyoko, cutting my eyes across the room to find her now little more than a routine task. There she sits, her hair now let loose down her back as she twirls its smooth dark allure between her fingers. It's a nice look. The school's navy blazer wrapped around her slender body certainly adds a smart edge to suit her inquisitive nature. Girl ready to learn even after the day is done and dusted. Following that routine, I rise up and make my way towards her. The class, now emptying. Enough of a distraction to have some fun. Wrapping my hands around Kyoko's eyes, she jolts back, in surprise almost knocking her head into my stomach. Guess who?
Da Vinci.
Close enough. Letting her go, my hands brushed faintly against her hair as I returned into my side. A soft, gentle feeling.
What's wrong? You're looking a little weird.
Nothing. Maybe now we've become so close, something like this shouldn't be such a tragedy to comprehend. After all, Kyoko seems to have no problem grabbing whenever she wants me to follow her.
Anyway, you're looking forward to the club, right? That's why you're here.
As opposed to going straight home?
You can't do that. make me sad.
Kyoko gives me an indistinguishable pout, her puffed cheeks coated with a blush as she pushes forward her lower lip. I can't tell whether or not she's being serious from her words, but with a face like that, it's straight up easy to tell she's playing around. Yet, her words still strike me as truthful. She's not the type to lie. I would have stopped going if I didn't enjoy it. I never actually said I'd join the club. I couldn't help but skirt around the issue of avoiding upsetting her, really.
Well, you stayed. That's all that matters to me.
Kyoko scratches her nose, like a kitten's futile attempt at trying to grooming itself. It's cute. Maybe in a way, she's trying to hide the fact that she see red coats her cheeks. But in the end, she's only drawing more attention to herself. The feeling though was mutual. Being able to spend time with a cute girl after class is on every guy's wish list. But to me, I really can't consider anything special. Rather, it's normal. I'm used to this energetic yet awkward scientist sleeping her way into almost every aspect of my school life. All because I was looking for a stupid mop. In the end, I found what I was looking for.
Anyway, we should get going. We have experiments to do.
Jumping up from her chair, the very same silky flow of hair once again brushes past me as I nearly manage to avoid getting struck by the wooden backrest. For someone so small, she certainly has a lot of energy. A faint presence, yet someone so important in what I can now call my routine life. A friend. Yeah, we probably should. Everyone else has left. The classroom, of course, empty. Now houses the two of us. Nothing but the ensemble of students heading home, mixed in with the usual chorus of other clubs starting their activities. With her joining me in the corridor, the sounds only continue to grow louder. Kyoko and I, like mice, pale in comparison to the lively aura surrounding us. Now beginning our typical walk, Kyoko strides as energetic as usual as we work our way towards the science lab. Her very actions reflecting the amount of heart she's put into this dream, her passion. As fond as she is of science, I can't help but think how the club might have turned out if I didn't decide to join. How Kyoko would have turned out. A girl strip of her previous friends, her previous life. Alone in the dusty room waiting for someone to befriend. It's sad, but now that I'm here, I can't help but think that, to me, the entire thing is more of a fix my friendship club. Nevertheless, it's fun. Arriving outside the doors to the lab, I spot a smile gleam up on Kyoko's face. It's very apparent now that it's routine for her. The very same look of happiness as the dreams within her heart burst into the room. A world of magic. I can't say I'm fond of science, but it makes her look as cute as this. I can't help but feel some kind of affection.
We're here.
Gripping the door by its handle, Kyoko musters just the right amount of force to reveal the world behind it delicately. Her smile grows wider. Lips raised up to her cheeks as they soften and quiver. She's about to talk. But nothing comes out. With one small foot past the door, Kyoko takes the first step inside. The club is now in session. So, what's the plan for today?
Anything really. It's science. Everything's bound to be fun.
It's not as we had a particle accelerator here. Sure, there are limits, yet as it stands, Kyoko doesn't seem like she really cares about any kind of restrictions. The world is her playground, whether it's right here or with me or on an athletics team with...
Naomi. She used to make the same face as you.
What do you mean?
Never mind.
Kyoko continues forward, now shrouded by awkward aura she helped create. There's only so much blame we can place on place on someone for making a certain expression. Yeah, she misses her. Her words, however vague, still fuse their ongoing fire within my mind surrounding their relationship. Sat upon my usual stool, I can't help but twiddle my thumbs as I once again watch Kyoko's usual routine. The afternoon light, showering the room with its blissful aura, adds more to her usual charm. Her figure is situated. Oh my god. Oh my god. I messed that up so bad. Her figure is accentuated not just by her brightness, but the flow of the lab coat around her curves. She surely is athletic. Yo, bro's saying she's thick. She's a little thick. It's no wonder she did so well in the athletics team. As a girl with so many options, I can only wonder why she founded science club in the first place. She could have easily joined an out-of-school track team. Kyoko steps back in shock, almost knocking over the clamp stand behind her. What's wrong?
I've run out of DC Pip.
What is DC Pip? And that's...
Squirrel.
Never mind.
Never let me finish.
Yeah, that's because her jargon is completely foreign to me. Peering towards her, it's apparent that this has obviously upset her. The lack of chemicals, a true inhibitor of science. Kyoko's dark eyes glint as Elias tears begin to well within them. Despite seeing her like this before, she's never once burst into tears before me. A downpour from her likely stronger than the rains in the Serengeti, so enough for a reason to prevent it from happening. We can just get some more, right?
But by the time we get there, the store will be closed.
Oh, damn.
It's already pretty late.
Glance at my phone screen is enough to prove that she's right. We've been here for a while. But still, we had fun, right? Even if she didn't manage to finish her experiment, even if I didn't do anything either.
That's true. I always have fun. With you.
Aw, Kyoko. This time, I can't help but to be the one to blush, looking at my reflection in the window behind her. It's pretty apparent she's not the only one who's embarrassed. Yeah, me too. The words come out, held back by a beating heart. Having spent so much time with her, she really is becoming something special. Kyoko finishes putting the last few odds and ends away, giving us an ample enough reason to finish up for the day. Now standing by the door, Kyoko lifts her head to match her eyes with mine. Another sad look within them as light hits their glossy, damp surface.
I'm sorry it couldn't last longer.
It's fine. I know you'll make up for it next time. But with her energy, it'd be easy for her. Yet, the thought of what could go wrong still lingers in my head. Damn. Yeah.
I will. Thank you.
For what?
Being my friend.
No, Kyoko. Averting her eyes, Kyoko leaves me with no other option but to stare out onwards towards her reddened face in silence. The image rendering me speechless. She really is cute.
Anyway, we should probably get going.
Yeah, you can go on ahead. I have to speak to Mr. Kabir about something. That's probably the best excuse I can think of to slip off and see Naomi. Walking off the school grounds with her only to run back towards the gym is going to look pretty
You
suspicious.
sure? I can go with you if you like. But I'm not really sure if he likes me.
Yeah, you got an attitude. Probably because you defied his expectations when answering his questions. It's fine. Swirling around, Kyoko's silky hair flows through the air as she turns towards the stairwell, sparing a moment to turn her head back towards me.
You know, I was really looking forward to walking home with you.
Aww. Heading down the staircase, Kyoko disappears quickly enough to strip me of any time to respond. Spare a heavy heartbeat, a feeling of wooziness.
Studies show that surges in dopamine can cause symptoms, such as mild confusion or dizziness.
And you're telling me this because...
I nearly fainted the other day. Shouldn't you be concerned?
Huh? Maybe in a way. I do enjoy science more than I thought. Aw, Kyoko. She used to make the same face as you. Interesting. Throughout the cafeteria lies only the sound of my own footsteps as I make my way towards the vending machines across their way. I plan on going straight to the gym, but Naomi doesn't seem like the type of girl to offer me a juice break. Her stern yet eerily warming nature has certainly changed as I reflect on me. A girl who once cringed at my existence now only hates me a little bit less. Maybe it's not like that, but her insults certainly make it seem so. Yet, above it all, I can't help but like spending time with her. Stepping before the drink machine, I had a bottle of orange juice within my budget. $2.50 and a couple of 10 yen coins. That should be good enough. Embraced by the glow of the lights beyond the glass, I watched the arms race mechanically towards the juice, picking it up and a slow popping of it behind the flap of the side. Before I can reach inside, the whirl of a machine is interrupted by a familiar laugh as another's hand stretches out from behind to claim my reward.
Thanks for this. I was in need of a drink.
You just stealing my drinks, bro? Turning to face her, Naomi stands before me, adorned in her gym kit with a light, sweet sweat coating by her forehead. Despite my disgruntled feelings, she takes no heed to cracking open the seal of the bottle and takes a hearty swig. The tiny drops of juice glistening in the air as she bursts her lips with one fell swoop of her hand.
What? Do you really think I'm some kind of thief? Here's your money back.
With a satisfactory clinking sound, 350 yen coins slide into the machine out of the grip of Naomi's fingers. Or at least I'd have like to imagine. You're 10 short. Slipping in another coin, a digital display now read the right price. Taking another aggressive sip of what's now her juice, Naomi slams the bottle down near the nearby table and glares towards me with a pout.
Are you happy now?
You know, if you wanted a drink, I would have bought you one anyway if you asked. Another juice falls out of the machine, this time with enough of a window for me to ensure it goes to the rightful owner.
I don't normally get juice anyway.
Then why'd you take mine?
I thought it'd be funny. If you really wanted to know, I normally get a cola.
She's a cola girl. I couldn't really care, but I don't think she's appreciating me telling her that. Are you sure that's healthy for someone who's supposed to be an athlete?
No, but it's vanilla flavored. Why should I care?
If only all the life's problems were vanilla flavored.
Anyway, did you make any progress with her?
You mean Kyoko? Right?
Who did you think I meant? The girl you have a crush on or something? Jeez.
Naomi crosses her arms in frustration. They're actually making a marginal difference in how vexed she normally looks around me. It was cut short. Kyoko ran out of chemicals, so she was gone to the city to get them.
And why didn't you go with her? That's a perfect opportunity to try talking to her.
Because I was supposed to meet you. Unless you were saying you'd be happy to have me ditch you. Flicking her eyes aside, Naomi continues to talk with reddened cheeks. as if to ignore the fact that she's embarrassed.
I thought you'd prefer to spend time with her.
Speaking with a somber voice, more death fills her cheeks as she continues to blush. It's hard to see her like this, especially when it's kinda cute. I can always go back. She's probably just reached the station. What?
You were supposed to say you'd stay with me.
Ooh. I was joking.
And so was I. You're disgusting. But it's a good idea. Let's go.
You want to follow her? Clasping my hand tightly, traces of sweat still hanging in her skin as her warmth crosses me. Her fingers, despite not being entwined with mine, still brush against my skin as she clasps tighter. Hers, familiarly soft, almost feels like enjoyable to touch. She'd probably throw up if I told her that, but still. Somewhere inside me is enjoying this moment, these feelings. All of them tossed away as Naomi yanks me along with her, as she walks out into the hall. The serenade of the train's wheels skirting along with the tracks plays distinctly. The two of us resting against the soft chairs as we await this rather pointless ride to end. Don't you think this is stalking?
Not if we're a certain distance behind her. We just coincidentally had the same idea as her. That's all.
I don't think the two of us can really get away with following her into a science shop or wherever Kyoko buys her supplies. We'd only be managed to catch the train just behind us. It wouldn't really have been possible to hide ourselves running down the platform to catch up to her. I think that goes against the entire idea of stalking anyone. With the train continuing to glide across the rails, the carriage sways side to side gently, with occasionally enough force to flick Naomi's hair slightly closer to me. For whatever reason, Naomi has picked a seat which unbelievably breaks my personal space. The smell of her shampoo, tropical in nature, mixes in with her prior perspiration to create an abstract fragrance beside me. So this is what a girl smells like. He likes a girly musk. Well, I don't plan on getting punched today. It's creepy enough to just notice it. Regardless, for her to choose such a position after our previous outing is a contrast to how she usually treats me. If she feels we're close enough that she can practically use me as a pillow, I don't think it's much of a problem. Coming to a stop, screeching noise interrupts the otherwise silence as the train comes to a halt. The motion enough to jerk Naomi's body in a trajectory towards my own. Collision ensures her side bumps into mine, almost with enough force to end up on top of me. Luckily enough, she is a soft pair of...
Where do you think you're touching?
Regaining balance, Naomi stands before me as I lay slumped against my chair, still in a state of shock over what's actually just happened. How's this my fault? You fell into me.
Yeah, right. I bet you enjoyed that, you fucking pervert.
As a scattered populace looks out towards these events, Naomi ignores all their stares as she marches down towards the doors, only to be back in anger once again.
Hurry up. We're not going to find her if you just sit there.
The trains loop back around anyway. There's still a chance she'll get on one coming back. Grace to expanding cityscape before us, the beams of the sun kisses against our skin is evident both Naomi and I are sweating. For her, it probably just isn't much of a problem, but having ran her to catch up, to Kyoko has trained me. Oh my god, I gotta read better. Turning back towards me, forehead coated with a light glaze, Naomi bats a look of repentance.
Damn, you really need to get to the gym.
Do you really want me there?
You're gonna go. I'll just have to put up with it.
still giving me a distasteful answer. Naomi turns back and scans the space around us with a look of concern. Having disregarded blatancy, if Kyoko was anywhere around here, she would have seen us by now.
So, how do you plan on finding her?
Wasn't stalking her your idea?
But you're the one who knew where she went.
She's right. Kyoko had told me she was going to go by. You can just get some more, right?
But by the time we get there, the store will be closed.
Alright.
It's already pretty late.
Oh. I don't think we're going to find her.
And why's that?
She's probably gone home by now. I don't think telling her I'd forgotten about Kyoko deciding to head home would have been a good idea. Now that we've actually made the journey for nothing.
We may as well give up then.
For someone who's supposed to be the star of the track team, she has a surprising lack of ambition. Sitting complacently, graced by a spring breeze, Naomi's hair sways idly as a bat sitting expression to match it. A stoic, pensive gaze into the distance as we both contemplate our reasons for being here. Kyoko.
So, what do you want to do now?
It's surprising enough that she wants to do something with me, but guess we have become better friends now. Rather, she seems less disgusted by the idea of someone seeing us together. Let's go to the Who is this bombshell?
Watch where you're going, alright?
Out of nowhere appears a girl before me, having been the one who bumped into her. The look on her face isn't a happy one. Similarly, Naomi appears a little ticked off too. I can't tell at who though. How about not walking so close to me instead? It's not the best thing to have come out of my mouth, but the words convey my feelings. The girl is short, dark hair gently brushes against her cheeks as she puffs them in a nondescript manner. It's not anger, it's not disgust. It's an emotion I can't put on my finger. Maybe it's anger after all. A chain reaction.
Don't mind him. He's just an idiot.
You're taking her side?
Why wouldn't I?
Said without any trace of sarcasm. Naomi's words stabbed deep into what I thought was our growing friendship. Perhaps she does hate me after all, or have overestimated our relationship.
It's nice to finally meet someone who thinks alike.
She sounds like a killer. Doesn't seem like for me that there's any way of making a stand against the bombardment.
I'm
This
Naomi.
bombardment. Is this really the time for introductions? Looking towards her outstretched hand, all I can feel is pang of unease as I watch the new relationship start taking place. Looking towards her quizzically, the girl takes a brief moment to pause before responding with a similar grace.
Sai, it's nice to meet you.
Sigh?
What's your dog called?
Dog? Looks like I've got a one-way ticket abroad the Bully Danny Express. It's Danny.
It's nice to meet you too.
Now faced towards me, Sai's face casts an embarrassed expression as she stretches her arm out towards me too. Her small yet oddly attractive hand touches the breezy air as she waits my own action. Your bro's a gooner. All he thinks about just attractiveness. Feeling the warm thrill of the extents of my arms as I meet her previously cold words with the warm ones of my own. It's a pleasure. Despite having a rocky start, the thoughts and feelings radiating from Sai don't seem to be intentional. After all, anyone would be rather annoyed if someone had bumped into them. Yet, with the presence of Naomi, preventing any negative thoughts from swaying her doesn't look like it'll be
I bet
easy.
you enjoyed that, didn't you?
And what if I did? Would that make you jealous?
Perverts!
Sai responds with a blissful giggle, a sign itself as the three of us have become oddly too acquainted in the span of a couple minutes. It's not as though he's stopped Naomi, though. Now, standing idly with a smile, Sai nestles her hands in her sides, lightly skirting against her vibrant plum coat. The attire itself can't be called apt for the type of weather. The sun itself beating down upon us as summer even looms around the corner. But it does look good on
Do
her.
you mind looking somewhere else?
Huh? Oh, sorry.
It's just a bother.
Yeah, he really is.
Of course, Naomi steps in for an easy jab.
Anyway, you busy? How about having a coffee with me?
What about me? Shifting her eyes in my direction, a glassy cold look greets me with a hesitation as Naomi mulls over an
You
answer.
could come too, I guess.
The ideas behind talking about, even stalking about, Kyoko have flown out of the window. However, within Naomi's heart, those feelings are still burning with passion. Trying her mind as she lives each day in regret. I guess everyone needs a break from the type of mindset. Drinking coffee with this new chick. As expected, we end up in a cafe anyway.
I need to go somewhere. I'll be back shortly.
She's trying to do it too. Almost in a hurry. Albeit with some sense of modesty, Naomi rises from the chair to make a beeline out of our sight. The state of affairs, once rife with chatter between Naomi's Sai and occasionally me, melds into an aura of silence which I kind of predicted. It's not if Sai and I are best friends or buddies.
She's gone to the restroom.
I could tell that. She's not one to mince her words. Continuing with silence, Sai fidgets idly with her phone as we both await Naomi's return. The door behind us swings open audibly as the sounds of the city, alongside a cool brush of air, are let inside. Oh no. Kyoko! Turning my head in fright, the cast of Kyoko before me hits my eyes as she tilts her head quizzically, battling me a confused look. Along with her, a bag of goodies clutched between her fingers as she brushes aside her hair against her cheek. This isn't good. What are you
I
doing
should be
here?
asking you the same. Who's that?
Ooh, she's jealous.
Is she your girlfriend?
No! Although it sounds like I wouldn't.
But I'm your friend. And a girl too.
Standing up briefly, I close the distance between myself and Kyoko, laying a small whisper into her ears.
Really?
Bursting into a flurry, Kyoko's face deepens the shade of crimson. The classical sign of embarrassment. It's clearly cute, but there are other pressing issues.
It's not like that.
Do you really think not?
Slamming my finger against my mouth. Against my mouth in a desperate desire for hopeful silence, Sai leaves her question hanging in the air. Kyoko's delicate exhibition of embarrassment morphs into one of quizzical questioning.
Nah? You mean sodium, right? What about it?
Is she really this dense?
The sodium! I forgot. I've gotta go. I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Turning around in a flash, Kyoko's hair briefly whisks across my body as her body spins. Before skirting into the air, she runs out through the open. I guess the store really was open after all. Well,
I don't need to ask. You're a two-timer, aren't you? Disgusting.
it's not like
What's all the
that.
commotion about?
Two-timers, crazy. Seemingly having also joined the Appear Out of Nowhere club, Naomi stands behind with a grin, letting off a smug aura to cover the fact that she's been in the toilet for a long, rather ridiculously convenient amount of time. Nothing
Yeah.
really.
Absolutely. absolutely nothing.
Yo, you're a two-timer. As they're trying to rile me to sarcasm, Sai's words go unheeded by Naomi as he pulls out her phone in a cliched act of boredom. I'd rather hear her say it, but I get the message loud and clear. I guess we should probably get going.
Oh, you noticed? I finished my drink ages ago.
For the record, I've finished too.
I kinda like this new girl. Thanks for the input. Finishing the drink on my own, I raced to join the two girls, the aches of having been sat down for so long, now so apparent. I guess we really did enjoy ourselves, despite some close calls.
She had to go again.
At this point, I'm rather concerned about what Naomi must have ate. Ruminating over the day's events through the choppy silence of the carriage, the only thing that's on my mind is Kyoko and Naomi's relationship. The issue itself floating in my thoughts constantly as these two girls have burrowed their way deep into my now routine life. The orchestra of the world continues. The sounds around me only being occasional cough from Sai spliced into the usual rattling of the train's wheels.
Again?
Oh my god. Oh, how soon silence is quickly shattered. Kyoko! This isn't good at all. Knowing Kyoko, she's going to want to sit with me for the rest of this trip. A practical bomb besides me, waiting to trigger upon Naomi's return.
Just, what are you doing with that girl?
I have a name, I think. My parents gave it to me.
Go figure.
Is she your girlfriend?
What? No.
Eh? But I'm your... No, wait. I'm not.
I don't think the joke really worked. Shifting focus towards Kyoko, she still stands befuddled in confusion as she stares me down. Her deep chocolate eyes glistening with inquisitivity. A look I've only really seen her make back in the club. With time continuing to dwindle on, I really need to do something to stop the worst sequence of events from happening.
Oh, it's you. I'm sorry to have bothered you.
I can tell now that the feelings flowing through Naomi were ones of sadness and regret. Malice wasn't even an option. Picking up my phone, all I could do was hope I can get a message to her. That should probably do it. Sure enough, a buzz of confirmation makes Naomi's response. Private time. Having seen the attention placed on my phone, Kyoko veers close to me and looked with wonder over her eyes. Nothing, just sending a message home.
I'd like to see your home.
Oh no. This really isn't the time, Kyoko. Her feelings of warmth aren't lost on me. The words themselves enough to send a flutter through my heart. Yet, with the question of how Naomi's going to get off the train without being spotted, and why Sai's even still here with us anyway, I don't think I can focus on them right now. Okay, one day, right?
Really?
I wouldn't say that is exciting to justify such a reaction. Lifting my phone up once more, time continues to count down as Naomi awaits my response. Having her distrust me will really mess things up. Trying to joke around with her isn't an option. One misinterpretation and another confrontation between the two bound to happen. Despite both still holding the same feelings in their hearts, neither are ready for such a blunt, spur-of-the-moment reunion. Being straight up is the best option. Quickly enough, Naomi's response flashed up the screen. The message, not what I was expecting, but at least avoids the danger of the situation. I'd imagine Naomi would have sent something a bit more feisty, but I guess now there's no real point in it. We are close enough. We're friends.
I wouldn't want to see it. It's probably stereotypical.
Huh? The pause in her sentence, enough for a sign to say she's changed the last word. I don't even know you. Why do you think you'd even go?
There could be a chance. There's a chance the sun might explode.
What?
No. The sun will never explode. It'll only expand and wipe out humanity in 6 billion years.
What a lovely thought.
Anyway, someone gave me her number.
Me?
Why do you have to question it? It wasn't you. Just a friend. Having Kyoko find out now I've been in cahoots with Naomi isn't in anyone's best interests. Sai really doesn't know how to stay quiet, but I can't expect to know the truth behind these two girls. Still, the sad look locked onto Kyoko's face, masking cuteness with woe. So he tells me what I need to know. She still has those feelings.
Friends.
Resting beside me, Kyoko sits favorably closer to me than I was expecting. Her light body plopping down on the seat, delicately, yet still enough for me to feel it. Eyes directed towards the floor, it's obvious to me that she's captivated in thought. Not the usual curious and experimentative thought which usually springs through her mind in the club, but one so pensive in regret. The thoughts are rooted in solemnness.
You wanted to know about Naomi, right?
Despite being able to take a guess that the name would come out of nowhere, out of her mouth, hearing it in her own words, still enough to send a jolt of fear through my body. Spend the day with her having to mull other relationship is still a guilt I have to bear, even if it's almost routine. Knowing Naomi's probably still stuck in the toilet too probably adds to that feeling. Yeah. Sarah remains silent besides me, probably knowing that this isn't her conversation to be involved in. That very silence adds to the pressure I'm feeling from Kyoko.
You know, I've never always been in the science club.
Naomi having been the one who told me, the word sounds different coming from Kyoko's mouth. Her lips trembling, the emotion of gloom continues as well on her face. The tears of sadness building up in her eyes. This is an image I'd asked to see, but I knew I had to face it with her.
I used to be on the athletics team.
And with that, guys, we are going to save. And this is where we're going to leave. I know, I'm a dirty, dirty dog. But we are hitting our 1 hour mark, and I appreciate you guys for coming and watching. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.